Hi, 302. This is Jolie. I am going to be your professor for HD 302 for this semester and the spring 22 semester calendar year at Cal State San Marcos. This video is going to be a video about the class structure, how I envision it will go during a global pandemic. So I'm going to kind of introduce it, talk about some policies, talk about some schedules, show you the syllabus. So it is going to be really important. I know it's probably really tempting to just click through this, but I'm going to be putting the most important things in this so that will get us through until I can see you back in person the week of February 7th. So this is a hybrid class. And I think that's gotten really kind of confusing. I was confused. I had to talk to Dr. Soriano, our department chair, about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my syllabus where I've kind of written out the hybrid policies, because I know when you go to the CAS catalog and you're signing up, it is less than helpful signing up for classes because of the global pandemic. It's written very vaguely. So people are like, do I go to class? Do I not? Especially for this class. So I'm going to take you to my syllabus. So I'm going to share my screen with the syllabus. For the CAS catalog, it says this class has both in-person and online components. We're meeting during scheduled days, at least once per week. On days not meeting in person, you're meeting online via a video conferencing platform like Zoom or Teams during the specific days times posted on the class schedule. So what Dr. Soriano says is that we are going to be meeting in person on some days and online some Mondays. And I'm going to show you the schedule in just a few minutes. The schedule will not change. I'm not going to, what I tell you today is barring us going back to quarantine and everything's online, this is going to be the schedule. Because I don't want to give you the schedule and then, parking, I get it. I have to pay for parking. I don't want people having to pay for times that they're not going to be in person. So we're going to go over the schedule and I'll show you exactly what it is. And I do not plan on changing it. So I'm going to have a schedule for the times and modalities and it's linked below. And I'll also put it as its own standalone kind of document on Career Courses as well. So you could just print that page out if you want as well. Please download, save it, put it in your phone because I'm going to be giving you the schedule for the rest of the semester. So it's going to be important that you know what days we're meeting and what days we're not. So the only thing that would change this is if we go exclusively online. So some Mondays we're going to be meeting in person, and some days we'll be meeting online. I'll be doing some lectures, answering some questions, and we'll be doing some group breakout work as well. So when we're in person, it'll be a normal 4 to 6:50 lecture-based class. We're 6 feet away. We're doing large group work. We're doing regular work. We're doing lectures. We're doing assignments. We're doing what we would normally do in a lecture. When we are on the weeks we're online, we'll also be getting lecture and class content, but we'll also be doing breakout groups as well, which I'll be dropping in and out of just to check up on you guys and help and support you as well. So this is the tentative 2022 schedule. Once again, I wouldn't require you to come in on other days. So the days that I have that we're in person are February 7th, February 21st, March 7th. Then we have a big old break. And then we meet again on April 11th, April 25th, and May 9th. So I've taken a break around spring break because from the research that we've seen over the last 2 years that we've had a global pandemic is that students still do travel. You might have to go home. You might need to take care of some business, or you just want to go out in the desert and do some camping. Whatever it is, please be safe. Please think about that. But in order to kind of protect the class health, the community health, the campus health, we're not going to be meeting in person right before or right after, just in case we've seen around spring break that college spring breaks all over the country that our COVID numbers do increase. So I'm trying to kind of preemptively say that we're only going to be meeting in person in those cases that it does in the community, our Omicron variants and whatever, if they start to uptick around spring, we are protected so that we kind of have that built-in fail-safe within the class. So once again, these are the days that we'll be in person. I would not change them. I would not be like, oh, whoops, no, you have to come in on February 14th, not February 7th. Because I want you to plan ahead and know that these are the days you're going to be in person, get that babysitter, get that parking permit for these days only. So for sure, it'll be February 7th, February 21st, March 7th, April 11th, April 25th, and then May 9th is totally optional. So I will be in person, and I will have a review, but I will also have that review online self-paced. So you'll be getting the same exact information as in person in just an online format. People who want to can come in. You can talk to me about your grades. We can go through your grades. We can talk about next semester, grad school, whatever it is. I will be there supporting students with a review, but you don't have to choose. You can choose if you want to or not. So the only days I need to see you are April 25th, April 11th, March 7th, February 21st, and February 7th. The rest of those Mondays will be online. So we will still be meeting. It'll just be online at 4 o'clock, and it will be like lecture, content, questions, and then breakout group work after. The final will also be online. All right, so when we are back in person, I have some Corona time policy. First, if you're sick, don't come to class. Get the notes from a classmate. You're going to have small groups that you're going to meet with both in person and in line. So on February 7th, we'll be making groups. This will be your in-person group, and this will be your breakout, so that you actually kind of get to know these people. So, text that person, hey, I'm not feeling great. I'm not going to make it in on February 7th. Could you send me the notes? And you're still going to have all of your work online. I'll show you through the courses later. Everything you submit, papers, readings, assignments, homework is all online. So you don't have to come into person to submit anything to me ever. Please don't do that. I will lose your paper. I am teaching lots of classes. I have 3 kids. I have 2 crazy dogs. Yeah, sorry. If you hear any sounds, that is my, during the pandemic, I rescued a German Shepherd and a Doberman, and they love to bark at crows. They like to fight, like play, and we have 3 acres, but they only want to play inside the house. So yesterday they knocked over a coffee table. So if you hear any crashing, or if I jump up and run out and start yelling, it's because they're doing something. I don't know where I was. I don't know why I'm talking about dogs. Okay, so if you're sick, get the notes from a classmate. If you're sick and you're negative for COVID, still don't come to class. If you have allergies, you're not feeling good, your stomach hurts, whatever, get home and get better. Rest, recover, recuperate, and still do your homework online. You're not going to miss like a 10-point paper because you didn't go into class. Get the notes, talk to your group, let them know you're just not feeling good. You're not going to be in. We're all going to be cool about this. And you're going to get better. Okay. If there's anything I've learned is we're no longer going to blow out birthday candles on a cake. Doing that for the first time after COVID hit was like, oh my God, I can't believe we used to like have a huge cake. Somebody would spray their germs on top of a cake, and then we would give it to everybody at the party. So we're never again going to spray our germs on birthday cakes, and we're never again going to do something when we're sick. When we're sick, we're going to honor that, and we are going to stay home and feel better. Okay. And so I've built policies in that you're not going to be hurt or have points deducted if you're sick and need to be home. If you do test and you're positive, you need to let the campus know. And they're not going to like let everybody know. There's no COVID shaming. Every Omicron is so highly contagious. So all you're going to do is let the campus know, because the campus needs to take steps. And 302, 303, 304, you're going to learn is all about community health, public health, epidemiology, and how it intersects with our human development and our community. So in this class, we're not shaming anybody for having COVID, and neither will the campus. They just need to take those steps to make sure that we have great HVAC system, things are being extra sanitized. Our maintenance workers at Cal State San Marcos are the unsung heroes of this global pandemic. They have been working every single day since it hit, keeping all of us safe. And so the campus needs to know, because they send out emails every week saying, hey, there was somebody with COVID. They don't say your name ever, in the quad, in this room, in that room, something like that. So we need to know about it so that those people that were in those spaces know that they might have an increased risk, or at least were exposed to it. You don't need to tell me. I don't need to know. If you want to tell me, I am more than happy to help you, link you up with services. We have doctors and nurses and testing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm here to help. No COVID shaming from me. Community health is all about risk and managing risk and managing exposure. So you'll never get any kind of shame from me from having COVID or being sick or anything like that. But I can help you kind of find those resources and get those resources that you might need. You also don't have to tell me. You can just be like, I'm sick, I'm not coming to class, or I'm sick, I missed this, can I ask a question? Or I'm going to come to your office hours. So that is our coronavirus policy for you guys as students. Mine is, my 3 kids go to public school. My husband works in the lab. We don't do much. We're fully boosted, but we still don't do, and my kids are finally fully vaccinated, but we're still very cautious because I have family members who are very much increased risk, and I have really bad asthma, so I'm at increased risk. So we mostly stay around our 3-acre kind of hobby farm that we have. I'm getting pigs in 2 weeks, so you guys will probably see some videos and some pictures online. I'm getting some potbelly pigs. You might be seeing some pictures of Rocky and Wilma in a few weeks. So I mostly do that, but because my kids go to school and because I want to be working tentatively in the classes, if I get sick or my family has had a very serious exposure, I will email the class and put it in an announcement. So if I'm ever going to cancel one of those, like February 7th, February 20th, any of those days, I will let you guys know 100,000%. So it's canceled and you don't have to come to campus. So then yeah, I will always let you know if there's any changes. I will put out an announcement on career courses on your 302, and then I will also email you as well. Like, I'm not going to be there for one of those days, so you don't have to pay for parking on those days either, and you won't try to come to campus. I will let you know as soon as I know that I am too sick, or my kids are too sick, or we all have COVID, or something, we all got the stomach flu, whatever it is. I will always let you know in official communication. Online due dates will still stay the same. Even if I'm sick, I don't want to kick the can and like put things off because I still need to grade them and I still need to get them done. So maybe if we don't even meet, I might say, hey, on, April 11th, we're not going to meet. My whole family, we're throwing up and we have the stomach flu. We're not going to be meeting that. So on Monday, okay, I'm not going into class, but you still need to turn your homework. Like if we had a reading that was due, you would still need to do that because I'm going to be sick at home. I'm going to be grading that anyway to be able to stay up on grading. That's kind of my Corona Times policy. From the university, they say, while in person, this class section will operate according to spacing, health and safety guidelines, and may revert to virtual mode at any point in the semester if health and safety conditions warrant. As of right now, we only know that the first 2 weeks of the semester will be totally online, and I'll show you the structure for that in a minute. And then we will be in and out of class according to this schedule. So this is the schedule. So the first 2 weeks are totally online. Then on the 7th, hopefully we're scheduled to be back in person. I will be meeting all of you beautiful people that day. We'll be talking all about more of this class structure, more about the pre-seed proceed model that we'll be learning about, more about community health in general. I will also have office hours. I'm not sure if they're going to be Fridays. I might be changing this. I think they might be Wednesdays. They are going to be on Zoom though. I know that. I'm probably not going to be coming in for office hours. That's kind of because I'm going to be in person, because my kids are in school, because of the health risks that I have, my office hours are going to be on Zoom, most likely for the rest of the semester. So there'll be normal Zoom office hours that you've been having for the last couple of years. All right, so we have 302. This is 30202. This is the only 302 that I'm teaching this semester. So if you want to email me, you can just say, hey, Jolie, I'm in your 302. You don't have to tell me that it's 0231158. I don't need to know all that. You're my only 302. So that's fantastic. So I've already got everything built out. I know my class schedule. I have a lot of the class, like the readings and things already kind of posted or at least fleshed out. Class is not completely up to date, but I'm generally on a really good path for being both online and in person. So each week I will kind of give you this same kind of week that I will open. So it'll say like week 1 and then week 2. So that will open for you. I'll have like a quote, some statistics, a picture, maybe a TED talk about our topic. So if we're talking about birth or newborns or something like that, I'll kind of give you an introduction to it and talk about birth, or put a funny meme about pregnancy up, something like that. Then I give everybody a to-do list every single week in all of my classes, because COVID has made organization in the school and online schooling hard. So I try to keep it as organized so that each week looks the same, and you have kind of a to-do list each week as well about what I kind of expect you to do. And even when you're in person, I'll still put this up and it'll still be like, hey, your reading's due on this day. Hey, don't forget about that paper, something like that. So for this week, I want you to read the syllabus. We're all totally online, so you're going to be reading the syllabus, watching this video. You're going to download and save the course schedule that's linked below. So that's also in that. I want to save you some money in parking fees. I got to pay parking fees too. It's a bummer. If I don't need to pay it, because I'm going to be paying it by day, I think that's going to be cheaper for me. I think it's going to be cheaper, even though I'm coming to campus 3 times a week. I think it's going to be cheaper for me to buy it by day. Probably for you guys as well, although I'm not sure how many times you're expected to come to campus. But I don't want you to come to campus if you don't have to. I want you to post in your online forum your normal syllabus week, introduce yourself. We can't do it in person, so you're going to do it in class. You're going to tell me 2 truths and a lie. So that's your 10 points to do in 1 week on January 31st at 9 a.m. You have an entire week, 164 hours to do this. And by 2 truths and a lie is you're going to tell me 3 things about you. 2 are true and 1 is a lie. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to post what I think the lie is. I have also put in 2 truths and a lie about myself as well. So if you guys wanted to guess mine, go for it. This week, I'm also going to have office hours. So Monday, 9 to 10. So Monday, what's today? Monday, what's next week? Monday the 24th, Monday the 26th, and Monday the 24th, Wednesday the 26th, and Friday the 28th from 9 to 10, I'll have Zoom hours. So I have 3 Zoom hours this week. So once again, it's Monday the 24th from 9 to 10, Wednesday the 26th from 9 to 10, and Friday the 28th from 9 to 10. So these are Zoom office hours. Click on this link, put the meeting ID in. You'll go to a waiting room. When I'm done with the student in front of you, I will click you in. We will chat, ask questions, say hi, introduce yourself, tell me about your student athletics, whatever it is, come say hi. I get very bored when people don't show up. So please come to my office hours. So I've got the 3 Zoom links already. You could come to all 3 of them and just say hi, or you can come and you can just ask a question. There are no dumb questions in syllabus week. We're learning online, but just for 2 weeks, and then we go back into person, but then we'll be back online because it's a hybrid. That's not confusing at all. So please, there are no dumb questions. Come ask me. I'm here to help and to clarify, especially in the first week. I want you to be successful the rest of the semester. Don't buy a textbook. Hate textbooks. Well, I don't hate books, but I hate people buying money, spending money on something that I can already provide. You do not need to buy a textbook. Email me, shoot me an email. I keep regular email hours. Or business hours. I work Monday through Friday. I check my email 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm here to help you during business hours, Monday through Friday. I have 3 kids and a busy life, and then I also grade without checking my emails on the weekends. So when I get behind on grading, I do grade on weekends, but I can't check my emails on weekend because then I will spend my hour or 2 or 3 that I have allocated away from my children and my animals. When I've allocated that time, if I spend it all on emails, then I won't actually get your grading done. So on the weekends, when I'm grading, I'm grading. I'm only checking emails Monday through Friday in regular business hours, so like 8 to 5, and I check them 3 times a day. So if you've written me something at 9 o'clock at night, that's great. That following business day, I will get your emails. If you have assignments that are due, you want to take a look at them before the weekend hits. Maybe you just have a question, and shooting me that question is really going to help, and then you can write it Sunday night. Because I know a lot of you can't keep regular business hours because of COVID, because of life, because of jobs. Totally get that. But you need to know that if you are stuck on something at Saturday night at midnight, I'm not a bot. I'm not going to be around to check my emails because I am hopefully asleep. I'm in my 40s. I have 3 kids. I'm not going to be up. Me being up at midnight on a Saturday sounds like my worst nightmare. You do you. If you need to do that, you guys are young and are out and doing things, so that is fine. I will get to it during normal business hours. Always take a look at the assignments, the papers, the things like that, so that you are not stuck on a Sunday night trying to figure out something that was a very easy email that you could have asked me days and weeks in advance. All right, so for this week, syllabus week, just introduce yourself, 10 points. Tell me about yourself. Tell me 2 true things about yourself and 1 lie. And I'm going to try to guess the lie. Like, you're going to say, oh, my favorite color is green. And I'm going to say, no, that's a lie. Your favorite color is purple. Something like that. I always create Spotify playlists just to have playing. Or when I come around with songs find a song that I love and that talks about childhood or something like that, I put them in my playlist. This is my 302 playlist, a lot about babies and infants and toddlers and kind of tweens kind of entering into before we hit teenage as well. So this is just for fun. There's no coins associated. I just thought I would share what I'm kind of listening to as I am creating classes. This is my 302 Spotify playlist. If you have any great song recommendations about childhood, about young children, about giving birth or having babies or anything like that, please send it to me. I'm always looking for new songs to listen to. And if you hate my musical taste, there's no points associated. You don't have to listen to it as well. Please don't email me. So this is the first week. So this is what you've already seen because you're watching this video. My second kind of section that I've opened for this week as well is my textbook section. So this is an open educational resource, which means that you have permission to kind of use this in my class as a textbook. So I approached the author and I have gotten explicit permission to use this chapter about the precede proceed model as one of our textbook sources. This is a fantastic thing. You're probably like, oh my God, what is the precede proceed model? I've been hearing about this. It's a community health model that we're going to be learning about all semesters. Don't stress that on the first day, the first week, the second week, you don't understand what it is. I'm still wrapping my head around it. I still learn things about it. And I've known about this for a while. I learned about it in grad school, actually. But I've been teaching about it for 5 years. So it is fantastic because it's all about community health and it's all about what a community needs to keep themselves healthy, mental health, physical health, being able to withstand illness, things like that as well. So we are going to spend the entire semester looking at the intersection between human development and community health. And the way that we do this is through the precede proceed model. This is a great textbook. Take a look at it, read through it. It's actually one of my assignments coming up is you're going to be reading through it. But don't be stressed out that you don't understand it on the first week. And for you that are concurrently in 302, 303, that happens every semester, don't be stressed about it either. By the end of the semester, you're going to be a subject matter expert on precede proceed. So don't worry about that. This is also a child development textbook. A community college instructor up in Santa Clarita actually wrote it, so it's totally open. Palomar took it. We added some information about kind of the Southern California area, racial disparities, and kind of about identity and child development as well. So I'm linking to theirs because I work at Palomar as well. And also our department kind of added things that were important to kind of the San Diego County region to this textbook as well. So I'm linking to that. It covers hereditary issues all the way up until kind of early adulthood. So we're going to be using this textbook as well as a support. So it's totally free. You don't need to print it out. It's just here for you. So here are your textbooks, so you don't have to go out and buy. We're going to be doing a presentation of a precede proceed model, but look when it's due by May 2nd. We are now in January. So my 302 people, don't be stressing out once again that you don't understand the precede proceed. You will by May 2nd. You will be able to do an online presentation about an already published credible piece of PPM research. So the precede proceed model is a lot. So I usually call it PPM. In class, we're going to be looking at different pieces of research. You're going to be divided into groups, and then that group at the very end is going to make an online presentation on Zoom about a piece of research that they have. So in past ones, people looked at like postpartum depression or looking at keeping a healthy weight, or even smoking cessation, things like that. There are lots of topics within PPM, and they're just going to present on the piece of research. This is what it was all about. This is how they used all of the planning phases, all the things we're going to be learning about in the next couple weeks. Once again, it's syllabus week. I don't expect you to understand the PPM or the precede proceed model yet. I'm going to teach you that as the semester goes on. We have a milestone project coming up as well. I've got more information in it right here. But basically, this is my attempt at having something that's a little bit more fun or creative. So we'll talk about this, and it's not due until the middle of March, but you're just going to create a template or a chart or a brochure or a PowerPoint or something where you go over 7 milestones relating to an age group. And then you also put in a picture or multimedia. So what the idea is that you guys know a lot about child You've already done some theory and some anthro and that kind of stuff. And you're going to learn a lot more in this class. But I want you to be able to take your knowledge and give it to parents, give it to community members, give it to aunties and uncles accessibly. So we're not using, instead of saying, oh, the child laid prone on the floor, we're going to say the child was laying on their back on the floor to a parent. Because not every parent is going to know the word prone or supine or something like that. So we're not going to use our big fancy words in this example, in this milestone project. We're going to talk accessibly about what would you expect a toddler to be able to do. This is important for parents to generally know what to expect in an age, so that if their child isn't doing it, they can get support from their community. And then also that they know that like temper tantrums are totally typical and expected. And we actually get nervous if children don't throw temper tantrums. They don't throw temper tantrums. We're concerned about their social and emotional health. That's the thing that all children, regardless of culture, history, anything like that, that's what they do. They're exerting their independence. It might look a little bit different, but all children do it. And so if you're not doing it, you're going to need some support in your social and emotional development. So you're telling me 7 milestones in an age range, and then you're giving me an accessible way that a parent could understand that. So talking about temper tantrums in a way that's positive, in a way that parents understand it, and then a video that either explains it or explains why it's important, or a funny meme that helps support it, something like that. So I have an example up from what I would do for newborns if I was trying to explain newborns, because it's hard to have a newborn. You know, it's a brand new baby that's new to the world. You might be new as a parent as well. What are the things that a newborn should be able to do as well? And taking those things that are very medical, that doctors tell you sometimes don't. And why are these reflexes important? Why do certain reflexes help a baby feed, or those types of things, or bond with their caregiver? And then another assignment is you're going to be writing 2 papers. So I have the paper outlines both in my syllabus and also up here on Cougar Courses, and they're not due until the end of February and the end of April. So we have quite a while. So this would not be something I would expect you to be working on in the first week of class. We are going to be meeting in person, and when we meet in person and we meet online on Zoom, we are going to be talking and chatting about these papers together. So you're not going to be writing this totally by yourself. I have some information, some outlines about what you could be writing about and how you'll be writing about the pre-seed proceed model, but I'm not expecting you to do this in a vacuum. These are things that in class, either in person or online, you're going to be getting support from me on. I'm always willing to look at drafts as well. I just want to put it out there so that you know that in the semester, we have this presentation at the very end. You have a kind of fun milestone project, and then you have 2 papers due as well. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there so that when you guys are looking at the syllabus, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you all the assignments right now, that you know kind of what to expect from this class, but also know that you're going to be getting support from me in our online Zoom meetings that we'll be having, and then in person as well. So this presentation, this milestone project, and these research papers that I have right here, I'm going to be helping you through it. So I've got some information here in the syllabus and on Cougar Courses I'd like you to generally take a look at, but you're also going to get real-time help and support from me as we learn about the PPM. It would be really hard for you to do the presentation and do the paper now, because this is your first semester learning about the pre-seed. So I'm going to be teaching it to you, and I'm also going to be helping you kind of get this presentation, these papers together, so that you're doing well in that class. That is my ultimate goal, is that I want you guys to learn in this class. So I'm here to support you in your learning and your work that you are going to be doing. You do have 10 weekly assignments, and I've learned this the hard way through the global pandemic, is if you don't have a point associated with a reading or kind of homework, you won't do it. So I could say read chapter 10, and 20% of the class is actually going to read it, or 40% will take a look at it, but only 10% is actually going to do the reading. So typically what happens is every Monday, I'm going to release, for the first 10 weeks, I'm going to release homework. So I'm typically going to give you something to read, or maybe a forum. All you have to do is answer my question. So if I'm asking a specific question, just answer it. You can do it in 2 sentences, you can do it in 2 paragraphs. No word count in my classes ever. The first couple of weeks, I will put feedback if you're doing it wrong, or if you got it wrong, or you just didn't understand the assignment. I'll be like, hey, this is what you need to be doing, and then you can redo it, because I don't want you to miss out on those 10 points just because you didn't understand. So in the first couple of weeks, I'll put some feedback and you'll have the chance to make it up if you want. Typically though, I'm just going through and I'm giving everybody 10 points on the reading or the forum. So I'm going to ask a question. You just flat out answer my question for these 10 weekly assignments. So like for next week, I think I'm going to have you read about the precede proceed model, and they'll ask you to kind of define some words, look up by looking them up, because sometimes our research in community health has new words to us. A lot of the research I read, I have to look up too, because I don't always know what some of those medical terms are, and that's important that I look it up so that I can understand the research. So every week you're going to either have a discussion, like a forum discussion post that you have to post for the 10 points, or you're going to have some kind of reading that you're going to do and you're going to answer questions. A lot of times my questions might be open-ended, so there's not a right or a wrong. It's just to get you to critically think about a topic and write down your thoughts as well. So you're coherently trying to defend why you think that way. I don't have a word count. Once again, some of you write very succinctly, so it's a paragraph. You know, every word is important, and it's very few sentences. That's fine. Some of you are going to write in 3 pages because you just write longer. You just are a little bit more descriptive in your words, and neither of those are wrong or right. That is just how you as an individual write. So I don't have a word count in anything, the projects, the presentation, the papers. I've never had a word count when I've ever taught, because I don't know how you write, and everybody writes very differently, and every culture kind of emphasizes different things in writing as well. But for the first 10 weeks, you're going to have some kind of homework. So I'll open it on Monday and it'll be due on the following Monday. So for example, for this week, for week 1, you're going to have an introduce yourself. So you're just introducing yourself to the class for 10 points, and it's due Monday 1:31. So you have an entire week in order to post once about yourself. That's it. You just have to tell me who you are, 2 truths and a lie, and you'll get 10 points. So for this second week, you're going to have, I think I already have it up. Yeah, you have an article reflection. This date is wrong, but the article reflection is about the precede proceed model. I ask you to define some words, and I think I ask you to analyze some words, define and analyze some words, something like that. And then you have exactly 1 week in order to do that. So, and then week 3, same thing. You'll either have a forum discussion post, or you'll have a writing. So for the first 10 weeks, you're going to have some kind of reading and writing every week. It's small, it's 10 points, no word count, just answer the question that I asked you. Then throughout the semester, we'll have a PPM presentation due much, much later. We'll have some research papers due throughout the class, but after we've kind of learned about the PPM, and then you have a fun kind of milestone project as well. These 3 we're going to be looking at a lot in class. And once again, I know I'm kind of harping on this, but I want you guys to be very, very clear about how this class is structured. So this is our tentative class schedule. So sometimes we'll be online meeting on Zoom. I'll post the Zooms for you guys. And then sometimes we'll be in person. These first 2 weeks are totally async though. This is just our syllabus week. So the week we're on right now. So you're just introducing yourself. Why can't I type today? So these are the things that you need to be doing for this week. For January, the week of January 24th is we're async, and it's syllabus week. So you're just getting used to the syllabus, the schedule, and watching this welcome video, and you're introducing yourself. Next week, it will also be async. Why can I not write today? Async work on the PPM. So you're going to have a lecture to watch and a article reflection. Then we're going to be back in person. So that day, it's going to be a lecture, questions, and group work. Then we'll be back online. We'll be synchronous after this. So it'll be something when we'll meet together. So there'll be like class content. and group work. And then it'll basically follow this for the same thing. So in person, it'll be lecture and groups and content and assignments. And then we'll be back online. It'll be sync. So I'll give you every Monday, I'll give you the Zoom link. And then we'll be online where we'll do class content and class and group work. So you'll be in breakout groups when we're in online. We'll be in breakout Zoom groups, and then I'll drop in and I'll make sure that you guys are working towards the presentation. You're learning more about infants or whatever it is that I've given. And then in person, we'll be doing lectures, PowerPoints, large group work, small group work that's 6 feet away, things like that. So I really hope that this has kind of alleviated some of the stress relating to this class. Because I know that the way that it was on the class catalog was misleading, or not misleading, it was too vague. Because I was confused. So I had to be like, Dr. Soriano, who's our department chair, what am I doing? And so he assured me that this is the way that our department and the college have been kind of doing these hybrid classes. So following that schedule that I've been harping on a little bit, we are going to be meeting in person and online. If you're confused, that's great. Many of you are probably confused. Email me and I will get back to you during regular business hours, or Monday the 24th, Wednesday the 26th, and Friday the 28th are my online office hours. The Zoom links are already up on Kuro Courses. I will show you right now. Here are the office hours. You'll go to the Zoom link, you'll hit the meeting ID. It'll take you to a waiting room when I'm done with the student in front of you. Sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's nobody, depends on the office hours. Then you will be in your own kind of little Zoom group with me. It'll just be me and you, and you can ask me whatever questions, say hi, introduce yourself, whatever you need. So if you're confused, please come to the office hours so I can help you. You can also email me. But once again, the biggest thing is that course schedule so that you have it in your day planner or your phone, the days that we will be in person, and then also the days that we will be online. And the online work on Mondays, I'll have that Zoom meeting for you guys. We'll meet, we'll have some class content, we'll have some group work as well. Then each week for 10 weeks, you're gonna have kind of your homework, which is like an article reflection or a forum discussion. And then throughout the semester, I will be helping you and your group make a presentation. You'll also be writing 2 papers that I'll be supporting you on as we learn the PPM. And then you have kind of a fun milestone project that's due in March. So my biggest goal is that you guys feel supported and you feel like you can make it through a kind of unusual semester. You know, we're starting off kind of online, asynchronous, but then we're going to go back into lecture, and then we'll be together and we won't be together. And there's a global pandemic and there's Omicron and it's super contagious, and it just sometimes feels a little overwhelming, and I totally get that. I just want you to know that I'm here for you to learn and for you to do your personal best in these classes that you take with me. So please reach out so that I can help you do your best in this class. All right, guys, I'm going to see you more in office hours, and I'll also see you more online. And then hopefully starting February 7th, I'll also see your beautiful faces in person. All right, bye.